Hello. How is everyone? Hey, Susie.
Hey,
How are you?
good.
Cool beans.
I am fantastic today.
Me too.
What have you been doing all day?
I have been packing for my trip, which, we've discussed. Um, I wanted to start this stream out, um, letting everyone know that I have lost monetization. Yay. Um, I think I got hit with. Are you still there, Susie? Did we lose her?
Can you hear me?
Hey, are you there? Say
Yep,
something.
I'm here.
Okay. I lost monetization. I got an email from YouTube, and it gave pretty much the standard reason that I think a lot of us get, which was reused content. Hey, Julie, how are you? Um, the only thing I can figure is I had um, posted a couple of um, TikTok videos, but I altered them to make them my own. So
Uh-huh.
I really don't understand why I got hit with reused content, but it is what it is. And I am sorry to my members. I know your memberships have been paused, but hopefully I'll get that back in June. So, hey,
That
thank you,
would
Julie.
June is a long time.
Hey, mistress. Thank you for the Cash App. Thank you. Hey,
Oh,
Flash. Oh, this is, I need to make, how do I make Flash a mod? Here we go. Um,
Milltown, you're so cute.
I love you, Milltown. She's so sweet. Y'all, I was so scared of Milltown when she was a mod for ski just because I didn't know all those people over there. And she is the sweetest person. And yes, Susie, I can hear you.
Okay.
Um, so if you haven't, you know, gotten to know Milltown, um, she's very sweet. And I hope that
Oh,
you will get to know her.
I can't
All
wait to
right,
get to know a
Flash.
lot of these people that look so foreign to me because I haven't been really in the drama community at
You
all.
call her Milton.
I did.
That's funny. No, Flash said she calls her Milton.
Milton.
Hey, Misty. How are you, sweetness? So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of explain to you all why I am not um, monetized anymore. I don't really know why, if I'm being honest.
Oh,
So,
wow. hmm I can't understand it myself.
it's to me, it's crazy what YouTube will allow and what they won't allow. You know what I mean?
Right. You would think if it wasn't reused content from YouTube, I thought that was like an issue.
Yeah. Hey, Jilly.
Yo, let me tell you something.
I can't hear you, girl.
All right, listen. So Ryan brought some stuff from storage that I asked to bring because we just switched storage. So I asked him just to bring my like spring clothes and summer clothes in, and I would get the other ones together to put them in the like the winter clothes and stuff. Well, he brought some stuff for me and him. Why did I go in the back room, open the door, and what do I see? A little tiny little Mickey Mouse, and I'm about to snap the out. I'm about to snap out. This thing is fat and ugly with a long tail. I can't. Not gonna happen. What do I do, y'all?
You're so funny.
No, this is serious.
Was it in your clothes?
I don't know, but you best believe I'm washing them, and you best believe I gotta figure out what to do. How do I get this thing out of here?
Is he alive or dead?
I just saw it just run as soon as I opened the door. I don't know where it went. That fast little. Mm.
Well, if you were me, if I were you, I'd be standing on the back porch.
Listen, I don't know what to do. What do I get? Like, where? What's going on? Like,
A baseball
ouch.
bat.
I don't want one of those things that just go, and then it just sits there, and then I gotta have to pick it up. No, like, what do I do? This is not fun.
Call Ryan and tell him to
Oh,
come
he didn't
home.
answer. You best believe I tried. He didn't answer.
Do y'all hear the echo?
Yeah. It's not you, it's Jilly. It's her.
No, I hear the echo too, Flash. Oh, she left. Maybe she'll come back. Misty, yeah, they emailed me and all they said was it was reused content. And honestly, all I can think of is the TikToks, which I did alter, by the way, which is, supposed to be okay. But I don't know. I think it was just a random check or something. They just got me. I don't know. I don't know, Jilly. I don't know why you were echoing, but I wish you'd come back up and fix the echo. You about to
Yeah.
cry? Do y'all have suggestions for Jilly?
I get out a can of bug spray. I do whatever I could. I mean, I'm not gonna like
Hey, Charmy
try to
bitch.
catch them and survive them. If they come into my house, they're goners. There's signs everywhere. No bugs, nothing with more than two legs allowed in my house.
Here comes Jilly again. Hey, girl.
There was an echo because I had my speaker on.
Oh, there you go. That's better. Yay. Flash wants you to repeat what happened. She didn't hear it.
Make a long story short, I'm switching storage units, and I said to the other half, Ryan, you might as well just bring in the spring and summer clothes, and then I'll get you all the other stuff so you can just put it in the new storage as far as like winter stuff. Well,
Mm,
this was just what's today? Thursday. This was Tuesday. Tuesday. He
Mm-hmm.
got everything. He brought it in the house or whatever. Well, in the back room is where we keep a lot of our stuff. And I went to go. I opened the door, and the first thing that happened was I seen this little tiny gray, fat, long tail looking, just run like Bruce Jenner across the floor.
oh, no.
Where did he run to?
He ran under the armoire, but I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen it yet. And I was banging on stuff to see if it will come out, but I don't know.
Mm-mm.
This
Well,
sucks.
So is it just like a field mouse or something?
Oh, I'm sure it's just a field mouse. Yeah, that's not really like all we get around here or whatever.
Yeah.
uh,
We get those a lot in Georgia.
Yeah, like where I live, we're like actually built on like a swamp. To be honest with you, and
Right.
like every now and then you'll see a mouse or two, like little tiny field mice, because we're in row homes too. So
Mm-hmm.
uh-huh.
you know, I doubt. I haven't seen one all winter. I doubt that. I'm most likely sure that it came in from the storage unit.
Right.
Right.
It had to
Yeah.
have. Yeah, it had to. Because I just saw one. I mean, not that I could be able to tell if I seen two. They all look the same, but it was just one that
Yeah.
I seen.
They don't all look like Mickey, do they?
Nah, man.
Oh man. I would just keep your eye on the armoire.
I was staying in his house room to my husband. Oh, that's
Exactly.
good. Yo, I'm about to snap out. He better hurry up and figure something out because he better go
Do
grab
y'all
something.
do y'all have a dog or a cat?
A dog. My brother
You
has
have a
a
dog?
dog. hmm
I mean, dogs will catch them too.
I'm
True.
about to let
You
him up
know,
here.
I let
Dang.
the dog
and
in the house.
they're nocturnal, so they're gonna if there's one still in there, they're gonna come out at night. So you know, and basically they're looking for food. So if you have dog food out, like definitely put the dog food up, right? So the mouse
Yeah,
can't get to it.
I don't. They don't leave the dog food out a lot. No.
That helps. But
Yeah, we definitely
I'm telling
we keep the
you,
water down, but not the dog food. Yeah.
yeah. So that's what they're looking for. I mean, they're not gonna really hurt you, but I know it's
I
creepy.
know. It's just still like they're them little. Ugh.
Yeah, they're
I
gross.
mean, I'm scared, but I'm not scared. Like I'm not gonna like. The thing is that he has to come and put a trap down or something because like if
Yeah.
I put the trap down and it gets caught and I leave it on the trap and I can't pick that up.
Hell no.
So
Oh
like
yeah,
he
I
gonna have to
wouldn't pick
figure
that
something
up
out because
either.
that's not gonna happen.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Mm,
Flash
I
said, "Where
wouldn't.
there's one, there's a baby daddy." You right about
Oh,
that?
you better stop, Flash. I'm a ooh.
Oh my gosh. They must have gotten in your totes or something in the storage unit or boxes
Yeah, because
to
they were
keep
probably.
Yeah, we
warm.
have a few boxes in here, but a lot of most of it's just totes. But there was a few boxes that were brought in here,
Oh,
and a couple like his he has a couple sneaker boxes too. Oh man,
maybe
this
they ate some sneakers.
I'm not opening any of them boxes. You're out your mind. He better take that back out and go to the laundromat.
Exactly.
Ain't happening, Captain.
Oh, I can't believe like he didn't notice.
I
He
just
could.
walked literally right as like fake went live. I just opened the door and I just seen the little fucker. I said, "You mother." Mm.
Mm-hmm. And they can squeeze in. Their bodies are like,
Yeah, I heard they can. They have no bone or not something, right? They can
yeah,
just
it's more
they can
like
go flat.
cartilage,
Yeah.
so it's
Oh
soft.
my God, y'all!
You
What
Did
you
y'all
know,
hear
found? You
that?
found the mail?
Julie, I feel your pain. A bug comes in my house. It could be a stink bug, which in the summer we have a lot of those. It could be a box elder bug, which,
Stop!
oh my God, I like
Uh,
just
I
have
hate those stink
anxiety
bugs.
and I start sweating just
Ugh.
Can
thinking
y'all
about
hear
it.
this weed eater?
A
Hmm?
what?
The weed eater. Do y'all hear it?
No.
No.
So
What the fuck is a weed eater?
know, where you cut down your weeds in your yard.
And that's like a thing that spins around your
A weed
arm.
eater.
It's a weed whacker.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we have, oh my God, I'm about to go the fuck off. We
You worry
have,
about a weed
yes,
eater and
because
I have a
listen,
mouse in my house?
listen to me. The county that I live in, the Department of Corrections, they come and mow the grass on the sides of the roads, right? This motherfucker just got out of the corrections vehicle with his weed whacker and just chopped down my daffodils around my mailbox.
You better go
Go
out
say
there.
something to him.
What am I gonna do? He's already cut them down.
He's gonna have to plant some new ones.
Oh my God. Y'all, that is my birth flower. I'm so upset. What the hell just happened?
Those are your favorite flowers.
Right.
Wow.
Oh,
I would
what
be
is it?
like,
Community
dude.
service?
I guess the damn
Then
truck
you
says
better tell
Department
him
of
that they need to
Corrections.
add
Little
some.
dude got out and fucking weed whacked all my daffodils down around my mailbox.
Don't whack your daffodils.
Well, go whack him. How about that?
Yeah.
They left. He got out, whacked them down, and what the hell? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all.
I
No,
thought
call
they
someone and
came
tell them
and
about it.
I thought they came and mowed your lawn since your husband hasn't mowed for a couple of
No,
days.
they cut my fucking daffodils down by my mailbox. So you know how I feel about my daffodils, Susie.
Yes. She loves them. She can't wait till they all bloom to get a big
Well,
bouquet.
I can't go cut them now.
Do you
He
have any?
literally just whacked them.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
What an idiot.
I'm sorry, y'all.
You need to call the city or the county or.
I knocked on the window and was yelling at him.
Should have sent your dogs out there.
Oh, God. They would have went running.
Yes, they would have, I'm sure. Oh my goodness.
All right, so
there
I'm
was
sorry
a
I got y'all off
chain
track.
gang.
I got
Well, you
y'all
know
off track.
what?
Go ahead, do your stream because I don't know
No,
what
you're
you're talking
good. You're
about.
good, babe. Susie is going to talk about Ruby Franke. And if you have time, I want you to stay up because you don't know about it.
Well,
And
I'm gonna be listening, but I'm gonna get down there because I gotta call this dude because this dude needs to come take
okay.
care of this other dude.
That's
All right, girl. I love
Oh,
you. Thank you
love
for
you.
coming
Love
up.
you.
You're welcome. I'll be in chat.
All right.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
Bye.
Flash said, I don't blame you. I'd be the same way. I know. I was waiting on them all to finish blooming, and then I was going to go and cut them and make an arrangement for inside the house.
Yep.
Okay. So we got all that out of the way. Welcome in, everybody. This is Calling All Moms, episode 2. We were talking about Ruby Franke and the price of fame. And I'm going to turn it over to Susie because she knows way more about Ruby Franke than I do. And we will all just chime in. First of all, I'll ask a question and y'all can let me know in the chat. I guess everybody knows who Ruby Franke. Drop a 1 if you know who Ruby Franke is. How about that? And drop a 2 if you don't.
Definitely, because this woman is crazy. This so-called quote unquote mom.
Yeah, so go ahead and tell us
who
all the
Ruby
things.
Franke is? Ruby,
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, Ruby Franke was one of the family vloggers. The name of her YouTube channel was Eight Passengers. And I think she started like close to, I don't know, for quite a number of years. She had been doing this. Let's just say 2016. I'm not exactly sure. And she would vlog her kids doing, kid stuff. And then
Right.
her following was getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it got to a point where her oldest son, and they all lived like this perfect, it appeared that they had this like perfect family. There were 6 kids, and a mother and a father who loved each other very much. And they were like a very strict Mormon faith. And around the time that they started, they kind of led um, the journey. I don't know what word I want to use, but they kind of led the Mormon family vloggers. They were kind of like, I wouldn't say leaders, but they were pioneers, right? Of the Mormon family vloggers. We see that other Mormon families who have large families, like the crazy middles or crazy pieces, with these large family, except for this family, 8 passengers, like they were like real Mormons. I mean, they even vlogged about their children's baptisms, like when they're 8, kind of thing, and the whole white dresses. And they seemed like they were the perfect family. Then people in the neighborhood thought that they were like these great people, and they were vloggers. Until,
Okay, Susie, hold on one second. I just want to interrupt you for a second.
yeah,
Jilly said that Gotti Girl just went live and told everyone she's getting married today. So if we can put some hearts in the chat, congratulating our Gotti Girl. Congratulations, Gotti Girl. We
that's
love you.
awesome.
I can't wait to hear more about it. Yay! Congrats, Gotti. Love you.
Exactly. She's doing so well.
Hearts in the chat, y'all. And I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, me too.
So when I first learned about um, Ruby Franke was kind of late to the game, you know, and all I saw was the bad stuff, right?
Right. Exactly.
So before her channel got taken down, I was able to go back a good ways and check out what her channel was about, and it was very wholesome in the beginning.
Exactly.
It really was.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think the fame
Got to
got to
her
her?
head. Yes, it appears that way. And there was a docu-series on Hulu. Um,
Mm,
it's about Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrand. I'll kind of bring you up to speed who this Jody Hildebrand is. But
but she
yes,
came much later,
she
you
came
know.
much later into the journey. She came in much later when their son, their oldest daughter, and their oldest son really hated being being on video all the time, because once Ruby had gotten to like over 1 million followers, and she would keep track of all the followers, how many views. Like, it was her goal to always, what can they do for content to do more and that kind of thing. And I'm not familiar with them being on TikTok or anything of that nature, but it was like her life's mission. And then they were creating videos like 5 days a week. And the older children just didn't want to. And I think when their oldest daughter, when she went to BYU, I do believe, she kind of like left everything. And Ruby Franke was very upset about that. And then because she couldn't, like, it wasn't the perfect happy family the way she wanted to present the happy family. So they were referred to a psychologist, or to do family counseling. Well, this family counselor, her name was Jody Hildebrandt, and they would go as a couple, and it was on a video. And then before, at first it was via video, she was like so famous and popular, and it was very expensive to be with this woman. And then they were like in groups, like like in a group counseling session. So it was like their neighbors and other people. And this Jody Hildebrandt really focused on Ruby Franke and her relationship, not just with her husband, but with her children. And then because her children really weren't, the oldest, now the oldest son being at home, hated to be filmed, didn't want to be filmed. He was getting mad, he was getting angry, and he
Wasn't
was,
he the one that they banished to the basement on the beanbag for 7 months?
yes,
What the hell?
because
What the hell? Like, how is that?
mhm. How is that? Like, that's a form of punishment because he's not respecting
Right,
you, but even as a
but the
parent,
punishment did not meet the crime. You know what I mean? Like,
right, but that's like going into prison. And then you can't even talk to your brothers or sisters. You can't talk to anybody.
yeah,
Sure, he could come up. I don't know that if he could come up to eat, but he couldn't talk to anybody, or nobody could talk to him. So now you're talking about dual punishment, where what are you telling your children? And where does this husband step in? Well, he wanted
yeah,
it all to be good with his wife, and he was just being a good husband because that's what this therapist was teaching him, to be submissive to his wife. And that's how you're going to get closer to God and all this crazy nonsense. But yeah, the kid was banished to the basement for 7 months to sleep on a beanbag.
that's that's
And
crazy to me because
mm-hmm,
I don't know. Like, I feel like did this Jody woman even have children?
I don't believe so.
So, who the hell is she? You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was some ultra rich
I
woman
know, but
who,
why am I going to listen to anyone that's not a mother themselves? Do you know what I mean? Like, don't come at me giving me parenting device. I mean,
right,
advice when when you're not a parent yourself. Like what?
exactly. And then parenting
Oh, Misty
isn't,
said, look at this. Misty said she does have kids, but they're no contact. Okay, Misty, why are they no contact? That's something I'd like to hear about. Why did Jody's children go no contact? I mean, I think I can guess why.
and
You
how
know?
is she to give even marriage counseling when she can't keep her marriage together? That's like a
Yeah.
failure, an epic failure. I just don't understand those things. Oh,
Misty
she,
says she's divorced and the children live with her. Yeah, but why are they no contact? There has to be a reason. I'm guessing because their mother is a
wackadoodle.
wackadoodle.
I was just going to say that same word,
You
wackadoodle.
know, hey, Fancy, how are you, sweetheart?
Hey,
You're
hey, Fancy.
okay. Better late than never, right? We're just talking
Mm-hmm.
about this Ruby Frankie stuff. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it. Susie knows more than I do. But yeah, welcome in, Fancy. Good to see you, my love.
But yeah, and this Jody Hildebrandt was teaching, Ruby Frankie and counseling her that you have to, and she even counseled the son that slept in the basement for 7 months as well. He had to have
Mm.
weekly therapy with this Jody on how to please your mom and to please your dad and things he needs to work on and think about. And I'm not sure what the detail was.
Misty says
Oh,
that Jody's niece came out and spoke against her as well. Jody was supposed to be helping her, but she abused her too? What the hell?
wow.
Good Lord.
And see, it's all about these kids and their abuse. And the son
Mm,
apparently was challenging his mom.
mm-hmm,
And in order for Ruby to get a grip of her family, she kicked her son out, the one that eventually kicked the son out who was in the basement for 7 months,
mm.
eventually kicked him out, and he was to have no contact with her or his siblings. And she also kicked out her husband because Jody
She
told
kicked
her
out
to
her
do that.
husband?
Yes. And he was, and then told him if he ever wants to see his children again, he needs to have no contact with her or their children.
Yeah,
And
yeah, Misty. It is a huge rabbit hole. I don't know a lot about it. I've just watched some stuff here and there, but Fancy says her sentence isn't long enough. What was their
oh,
sentence?
30
I know they both
years.
30 years. Okay.
Yes. Hmm. Both for 30 years. And because the dad had no contact, and the oldest son, who I'm sure he prayed for his siblings every day because he had
Right.
noticed like things that were not right and were not normal. He had witnessed and been a part of that. And he worried about his siblings and and her husband, who was under the spell of that Jody Hildebrandt, and his wife, he really wanted his marriage to work and he wanted his wife to be happy. And it was all over this vlogging, this family vlogging of every minute of every day. You're filming everything and what gets edited and what doesn't get edited. And you
But
all need
here's my
to,
thing. I saw him, I don't know where it was, some interview. Don't quote me where it was because I don't know. But I did see it where, and I'm talking about her husband, where he was like, he knew that there was some stuff going on, but he didn't know to that extent. Like,
right,
I don't buy that because I don't know. Maybe I was just an over involved parent when raising my children.
mm-hmm,
Um, but how do you not know that your children are being abused? I'm sorry. I don't I don't buy it. Yes, Flash, thank you. He had to know. Like, how do you, I don't know. I heard him say that in some interview somewhere and I was like, "Excuse me, sir? Of course you knew." Like,
right,
no, I didn't buy that. I'm glad to hear
exactly.
that, you know, Flash agrees with me. Yeah.
And I 100% agree. What I don't understand, as me being a mom, and even Steve being a stepdad, Steve is like nosy. I thought I was nosy. He's really nosy. He's grilling the kids all the time. Now that they don't live with us, he knows what they're doing more than I do.
Right,
And
Misty?
he's not
No one
even
is going to tell me I can't speak to my children forever. Amen, girl.
exactly,
Nope.
exactly. Not even COVID.
No, no, no. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. I know that we're all mothers in here, but mother or father,
Mm-hmm.
no, no, no. He knew more than what he was willing to admit to. That's my opinion.
Right.
Mm-mm.
And he knew something. He might not have known everything or the details or to the extent, but he knew something wasn't right. And who would leave their children with a wackadoodle? Not me. Oh, hell no.
Oh, he knew. He knew. He was saving face and try, in my opinion, trying to avoid charges when he made the statement. I knew, but it wasn't to that extent. You a
Right.
lie. You're
I
you're a
knew when
liar.
something was
You're
up.
you're not married to a woman that long, right? And living in a no, no. I'm sorry. I don't buy his story either. He knew.
Yep.
He knew.
Exactly, Misty.
Yes, Misty. I agree. He's a
Mm-hmm.
liar. I don't believe him. I'll die on that hill because I have raised four children with a man for 20, 30, 24 years. We knew everything that was going on in our home. And if my husband, ex husband now, happened to be out of town and something went down, I called him,
Yep.
right? And I was like, this
Mm-hmm.
is what's going on. Like, you will never convince me that their father didn't know. Sorry.
Right. And the oldest daughter, um, called the police to have them do a
Mhm.
wellness check because she did keep in touch with one of the neighbors, and the neighbors are like, we walk by your parents' house and we see the kids peering out, but we don't, nobody's coming out. It's been like radio silent in their neighborhood. And then to find out that Ruby Franke was like 4 hours away in St. George, Utah with that Jody Hildebrandt. And they were um, on their YouTube channel together,
Mhm.
providing parenting advice and marriage advice. Like they were some experts, while the little kids were home alone. And the little kids were probably home alone for days and days. And the only, they had found out that the police could not go in the home. So when the police went to the door to do wellness check, they knew people were in there, but they weren't allowed to like go in and check it out
Mhm. Mhm.
because they would have had to get a court order, and they couldn't get a court order to go into the house. But of course, Ruby Franke finds out about all this stuff, so she gathers up those 4 kids and they move to St. George, and nobody knows about it. She probably gathered them up in the middle of the night and
Yeah.
disappeared. And apparently, that was about 10 months later. And then when her son escaped from Jody Hildebrandt's house, he's the kid that
Mhm.
went to the neighbors and
Yeah, and I kind of
was
wanted to talk
abused.
about that a little bit because I have seen the video, the Ring camera video of
Mm-hmm.
that,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to ask you all, can you I hope I don't cry. Can you imagine that child walking up to your home and seeing him on Ring camera? Like my heart of course broke for the child, but it also broke for the man because you could hear the horror in the man's voice when he made the 911 call.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Misty. Yes, thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. He was crying and he was upset and he couldn't believe, you know, what he was seeing. Can you imagine? Because it could happen to any of us, right? I mean, God forbid. I hope
Exactly.
not. But I just remember seeing that clip of that poor man, um, and his heart was breaking, and he knew something like I can't even wrap my head around it because oh my God, like he wasn't even my child or that man's child, but I promise you, I would have been hightailing it straight to Jody Hildebrandt's house
With the
to
police.
probably whip some ass and probably go to jail for assault. But hey, that's okay because yes,
Mm-hmm.
we all have a duty to protect these children, all children, in my opinion. But
Exactly. And
yeah, it was heartbreaking, Fancy. It was heartbreaking, obviously for the child, but also the man that you know, the home that he came through. Like, oh,
mm-hmm.
it's terrible,
And to
terrible.
imagine, people don't realize this happens in all different neighborhoods and all
Right.
different communities. Like the when the boy walked up to the man's house, these people all lived in like mega mansions,
Right.
like
Right.
huge, huge homes with big pools and an affluent area, and it can happen anywhere. I mean, I think about that now, seeing in my community, we live, we rent, and really, there's no kids here, but I would never know if there was. And if somebody came to my door, how I would feel,
Yeah.
and if my children were to ever experience physical abuse like that,
Mm-mm.
you want to do everything to protect your children. That's like the normal instinct. Yeah,
Well,
Flash,
and for
just
me to protect any child, you know?
right. Even if it's not
So,
yours. Yeah,
right, which is kind of the point I'm trying to drive across is what this man must have felt in that moment because um he probably handled it a lot better than I would have.
right.
Cuz like I said, I would have been, you know,
Hmm.
headed to Jody's house. That's just me. Um
Right.
I
And
don't
I
know.
would agree
I
with
don't
that.
know. It's terrible.
There was an incident. I had worked for Children's Hospital for like 6 years, and I worked with children with special needs. I worked with families, I should say. And one day into the clinic, when you go to any type of clinic, everything is electric doors, right? Well, two pit bulls run right into the front doors. And I looked at my coworkers and I'm like, I'll be right back. And I didn't care if these dogs bit me at that moment. I really didn't. But I felt in my heart I had to protect children. Thank goodness another dad helped me, but I grabbed one of the dogs by their collar and planted my feet so much into the ground and held on so tight because these were pit bulls. And what are they doing running into the clinic and the clinic building? And there's kids everywhere. And of course, kids get excited to touch, but you don't know what any type of dog would do. It didn't matter if it was, a lab, I would have done the same thing. But to think there were so many people, like my coworkers, who their instinct, even though they all had children, wasn't to protect other people's children. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
people like that because all I cared about was no children could get hurt. And we had no security at our building. Oh, we don't need security. We live in an area that's safe, quote unquote safe. But yet, we had these two pit bulls that ran into the electric doors because you know what? Their owner left them in the car with the windows rolled down and they got out. And they smelt the scent to go to the elevator. And yeah, and who knows about these dogs, what they would have done. They could have ripped off their face, they could have ripped off my face. We
Well, I
kind
mean,
of looked each other
I
in the
don't
eyes.
want anybody that's watching that owns a pit bull that thinks she's talking about pit bulls.
No, not at all.
She's talking about dogs in general. Um,
Right.
I know a lot of
Yes.
beautiful
Hmm.
pit bulls that are not like that. I think she's just trying to say,
Dogs in general. Yeah.
not my dogs. My dogs are lazy as hell.
Your
But
dogs wouldn't go running in the clinic. They'd be
no.
like, ah, good, she's gone. We'll rest in the
They
car.
they would do it for a treat and then they would lick your face off. That's what my dogs would do. But but anyway, I don't want anybody to think that Susie's talking about she's not trying to bash pit
No,
bulls. It's just her
no.
experience. They happen to be pit bulls. But
Yeah,
I think her point
exactly.
is we as mothers or humans in general are gonna protect children. Like it's just what you do.
Exactly.
It's just what you do as a fucking human being, whether you're a mother or a father or not. You know what I mean? Like I have a sister who is 15 years younger than me, and
Hmm.
she has no children, right? But and I'm not going to talk about that because that's her story, but she does not have children, but she would take a bullet for my children. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
all right, let's see these comments. My son has some of the most well behaved, loving pit bulls. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. She's not talking about the pit
No.
bulls at all. Um,
Right.
just the fact that you would protect uh, people that you don't, that are strangers, you know.
Exactly.
Fancy says, because I got bit and it left a scar and it was a German Shepherd. It's on my face. I was 5 and I wanted to pet the dog and I went up to the fence. Fancy, I have a similar story. My
Hmm.
parents were on a softball team, um, or I guess in a softball league when I was about, I think I was, I want to say my mom said I was like 3 years old. And we were at the concession stand, and she had
Hmm.
gotten me a hot dog, and I was kind of holding it up, and it was like by my ear, and a dog that was at the softball park came up and was going for the hot dog, but accidentally like nipped my ear. So I have a scar from that.
Hmm.
But so yeah, Fancy, I have a sort of a similar story, but I don't think he was just trying to eat a hot dog, but he happened to bite my ear. So
And it's ironic, Fancy, but I was bit by a German Shepherd when I was a kid. I was going door to door to um, tell my neighbors about Jesus and to come into his heart. Remember, I grew up in a cult, kind of religious, and I went there, was knocking door to door, riding my bike, and one of the people a mile away from our house, I didn't know it, but they had a German Shepherd and they thought I was much farther, so they let their dog out, and their dog chased me down the road and grabbed onto my like rib cage kind of thing.
oh my
And
goodness.
but you know what? The next day I was out there because I wanted to get all these ribbons for like talking to all the neighbors about Jesus. Now, mind you, they all knew him very well, but I didn't know that. But that's what I did, and but it didn't scar me. I think for a long time it really did. I still get very nervous when little kids, even if they're petting a dog, that is
Yeah.
because you never know, and that's like my big fear. You never know,
Well,
and
as you know, I have um 2 Great Danes
mm-hmm,
and a Staffordshire. Um I have a Euro Great Dane. She is 164, 165 pounds. So she's a big girl, right? All she's going to do is lick you to death.
mm-hmm,
She's a sweet girl. My other Dane is an American Dane, and she's like 110 pounds. Um, she's going to be a little bit like if you were to come to my house meeting her for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
initially she's going to be like, all right, let me sniff you, let me make sure you're okay, blah, blah, blah. Then I've got the little Staffordshire who's like 34 pounds on a good day. I'm gonna need y'all to hang out for 30 minutes before he's like, okay, this girl is good. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't
Uh-huh.
I don't blame dogs. I blame
Right.
owners.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how did we even get off on talking about
Pro-
dogs?
Protecting
Oh,
children,
just
even
being
ones that
protect.
are
Yes, yes,
being having that instinct, like Flash says,
right.
you have a protective instinct no matter who the child is.
Well, I would.
Yes,
I
I
would.
would too. Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Because you were talking about the dogs at your work that day. Yeah. Yeah.
To
Like, I
protect the
mean,
children. Mm-hmm.
always, always. And
Right.
if my own dogs, as much as I love them, they are my babies, were to ever be aggressive in any way towards any human, um, I'm going to have a problem with my dogs, right?
Right. Exactly.
Because humans always come first. And Susie, you know, my dogs are my babies.
Yes, they
But
are.
at the end of the day, no, humans come
Right.
first. What's Flash say? Fancy, I don't like cats. One scratch. I don't like cats either. I don't
Me
hate
neither.
cats, but I don't like cats. One scratched me barely, missing my eyeball. Ew. Yeah, I'm not a big cat person. I don't hate cats. Um, I'm just more of a dog person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've had cats in the past. They're just not my jam. That's all.
Yeah. I'm not a cat human either.
Yeah, I've never. I don't hate cats. I don't want to sound like a cruel human. I don't hate cats, but
Julie needs to get a cat, that's for sure.
she sure does, don't she?
Yep. I don't know. But going back to the whole Ruby Frank thing, to see that child and to even envision a kid being emaciated and duct tape.
Right.
And then when they went into the home to find,
Yeah.
where the boy was like locked up with cayenne pepper and honey for the wounds, was that, to me, that sounded like torture.
It
Torture. Can you
does.
imagine on your wounds, open wounds, somebody
No.
pouring cayenne pepper on them,
No.
rubbing it
No.
in, and the whole shebang? Absolutely not. I
No.
wouldn't. That is so not right at all.
It's fucking cruel, is what it is. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
How could anybody want to hurt their children? Seriously, it blows my mind. I could never, I can't even imagine. And then to see um, her, and finally they're arrested, and another girl was in like a safe, and she was emaciated and she had wounds on her too, and the other two kids supposedly must have been good. I don't know. But how that can happen. But Yeah, both this Jody, because it was at her house that the two kids escaped, they were actually charged with 6 counts of child abuse, but the two of the counts they did not, they were only charged with 4 counts of child abuse and child endangerment. And it was crazy. And how what seemed to be a really good family really, I mean, for what
All
a
right, can
person
y'all
could see.
hold on, Sissy? Can y'all see that on the screen?
Let me see. Yes.
Can you hear it?
Not now.
All right, because I paused it. The title is "They Use Cayenne Pepper and Honey to Dress the Wounds." Let's watch this. Okay.
All right.
KSL Live at 5 starts now.
Good evening. We are learning more tonight on what investigators found inside Jody Hildebrandt's home.
The Utah counselor was arrested along with former 8 Passengers YouTube mom Ruby Franke last month, and both women now face several counts of aggravated child abuse.
KSL investigator Daniela Rivera joined us live in the newsroom tonight on what search warrants reveal about this investigation. Daniela?
Well, that's right. Local police investigators filed these search warrants after a child escaped from Hildebrandt's Ivan's home on August 30th and asked a neighbor for help. The warrants allowed investigators to go in and collect potential evidence of child abuse, and now we know some of the items they seized and that the child told responding officers 2 of his siblings were in the home. According to one of these search warrants, the child who escaped Hildebrandt's home told police rope was used to tie him to the ground, and cayenne pepper and honey were used to dress the wounds. And according to this search warrant return document, some of the items investigators collected from Hildebrandt's home include tape and saran wrap, a journal, a bowl containing a red liquid with a metal spoon, 2 super absorbent dressings, brown and white rope, 2 handcuffs, and 3 carabiners.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Look at these items collected.
I'm making them big. Tape and saran wrap, a journal. Yes, apparently she journaled, I mean, everything. And she journaled the abuse that she did with the children.
But keep reading.
And then there was a bowl containing, right, 2
super absorbent. Rope, handcuffs. Like, what is okay? All right, here we go.
Court records say 2 used medical gauze dressings were found in Hildebrandt's bathroom next to a cayenne pepper and honey paste. Investigators also collected 3 iPhones and 5 laptops, but filed another warrant specifically for Hildebrandt's personal iPhone. It's unclear this evening whether that's been turned over to investigators. Mike and Ashley.
All right, we'll continue to follow it. Thanks so much, Daniela.
That's
sorry.
just crazy.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Missy said every single detail was journaled. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ruby Frank detailed everything from the supposed crime of what the child did to the crime that she did, or I shouldn't say the crime that the child did, but the behavior, whatever that is. Well, I think because her children were supposedly, I don't know what that's called, when somebody demonized, filled with demons, and how she was trying to get the demons out. And I'm sure those kids were constantly trying to get away or run away or not be there, or did everything because they were so miserable all the time.
Mm-mm. Me too. Me too, Misty.
I would as well. But yeah, it's just crazy. And it almost seems like 30 years is not enough.
Yeah, I agree. Um, I,
And
I just, I
it's
love
sad.
children so much. Um,
hmm
I love my children. I love their children. I love your children, Susie. And
Yeah,
I would, even though, mine and yours
right.
are grown, um, but I don't know. We as a community, whether we, you know these children or not, we are called, in my opinion, to protect them. We just are.
Yeah, exactly.
Flash says, but they didn't know much different either. No baseball, no cheerleaders. Yep, yep, yeah.
hmm
See, me too. Fancy mine is children, animals, and elderly, because, in my opinion, those three groups are um, defenseless.
hmm
And because, in my opinion, again, they are defenseless, we must be their voice. We must stand up for children, elderly, and animals. We just have to. And I don't know. That's just how I feel.
I agree. And like Flash had said, they didn't know much different. So, because they were so
Yeah.
little when the abuse was going
Yeah.
on, whether it was emotional abuse at the beginning or physical abuse, they didn't know anything different. And the little kids, they didn't know what life was like without a camera watching them all the
That
time.
is so true.
hmm
That is so true. Aw, I love you, Flash. You're
Oh,
so right, Susie, because remember the one clip of Ruby holding the one little tiny girl's stuffed animal, telling her she was going to cut the head off of it? Do you
that
remember that clip?
was
Let me see if I can find
traumatizing.
that. Ruby, Frankie. What would I search? Stuffed animal? Yeah, it came
Yeah.
right the fuck up. All right, let's see.
Yeah, it's
Mm,
how could a mom do that? I mean, I could
well,
never.
that didn't
Well,
bring anything up.
to take away and um, away something that meant the world to a child.
Right.
I get it. Maybe you don't have your stuffed animal for the day, but tomorrow, you can, but not to mutilate. I mean, the trauma that would cause a young child because their behavior was not of what their mom wanted them to be. I
All
mean,
right.
we all know as moms how some days our kids have bad days. Our kids really do.
All right. Do y'all see that?
Sometimes. No. Oh, it's coming. All right.
You're
Now we can see it.
gonna lose the privilege to
Okay.
eat dinner.
I've been away for 7 months and then you give it back like a couple weeks ago.
I don't think our viewers know. You've been sleeping on a beanbag.
I'm sleeping on
Okay. Okay. Why did she say, I don't think our viewers know that? Why'd she say that?
Because that was something she didn't want to be seen
Yes.
hiding
Why?
crimes. Because what she was
Why?
doing is criminal.
Yes. So, let's hear that again. Bitch.
for 7 months and then you give it back like a couple weeks ago.
I don't think our viewers know that. You've been sleeping on a
Why?
Yep. She never
Why?
told her viewers he was in the basement for 7 months and now he's finally back in his bedroom.
Because it's criminal, ma'am.
Yep. It is.
Here we go.
beanbag.
I'm sleeping on a beanbag. I gave my room back like 2 weeks ago. Oh, I'll give you the reason why I lost my bedroom. I think so. I think it's the reason. At least this is
Tell us. Tell us why. Look how she's looking at him. Like, watch your mouth, boy. See?
Yeah.
Y'all see that?
Exactly.
Look at her. Look at her. Careful what you say, right?
Exactly.
See, this is just pissing me off. Okay, here we go. Look at her, though.
Yep.
She's looking at him like, watch your mouth, boy.
Exactly.
the reason that's in my head. It's pretty funny, but now I look back, it's pretty depressing.
No, we never told our viewers.
So I woke Russell up at 2
No, we
in the
didn't.
morning and told him that we're going to Disneyland and he has to pack. And he got up and made his bed on the and then packed all his clothes in the suitcase. And then he walked out the door and I'm like, Russell, he's like, what? He's all happy. Has his sunglasses on.
You think it's funny because
And then I walked out.
if
And
you think it's funny, then that was 7 months ago. Maybe you need longer without a bedroom.
it was not funny.
Russell got the big bedroom and Chad got the smaller bedroom. And Russell's bigger bedroom also had a bathroom. But what you guys didn't know was Chad didn't get any room. He didn't get anything. He was sleeping on the floor in the family room. Abby, we took the phone away from Abby in November. And you may never get the phone back. Probably not.
No, I have no friends.
You can play with friends.
No, like I don't have friends.
I don't have friends either.
I literally like told my friends.
Susie, if you need me to stop, because you know more
Oh,
about this than me,
no.
just
But
let me know.
like she even said they took away the cell phone from her daughter, who now has lost, connection with her friends because of her bad behavior. And the daughter said, I'll probably never get it back. Because the
But yeah,
rules
just
change.
stop me when you,
Right.
and I'll
I will.
pause. Okay.
See, those
They say some pretty messed up stuff.
I don't even know where they live. They're pretty far away.
So, summer goal: become the best athlete I possibly can.
If you cut one,
This, y'all. Oh my God. Watch this. You've
Mhm.
probably seen it, but what? How old is this child? 4, maybe?
I would say pretty little.
All right.
more thing in my house, I'm going to take the scissors. Look at me, and I'm going to cut its head off. Grandma, you're so bad.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna cut anything else? No. You promise? Look at Mama.
And who was that?
That must have been a
No,
sister.
who would? Yeah, one of the sisters. So now, not only is she traumatizing this little child, she's grooming the sister
Exactly.
the same way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The fuck? All right.
Got a text message from Eve's teacher, and she said that Eve did not pack a lunch today, and can I bring a lunch over to the school?
Did you see this, Susie?
Oh, yeah, that she
This
wouldn't
is
let her
fucking
take
crazy.
a sandwich for lunch.
It happens quite often when you're raising children, because I know that her teacher is uncomfortable with her being hungry and not having lunch, and it would ease.
Bitch, you should be uncomfortable knowing your kid doesn't have a lunch. As a mother, you should be
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If I came to the school with lunch, but I responded and just said Eve is responsible for making her lunches in the morning, and she actually told me she did pack a lunch. So the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry, and hopefully nobody gives her food and nobody steps in and gives her a lunch.
Hopefully nobody gives her food.
Right. And what school? I will tell you this, that my son graduated from high school like 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now. But he had a lunch allowance of $25 a week. You would think, or I can't remember, $50 a day. And I worked early in the morning, and a lot of times he would pack his lunch the night before, and sometimes he didn't. And
Right.
he would have no lunch money. The school would either call me to load up his lunch account, like, oh, his account is empty, or oh, today we gave Caden a cheese sandwich or peanut butter and jelly or bologna or whatever. And they never would let the kids go without food. But I
Right.
sure
So
knew about it.
why would this mother say, it's fine.
And I hope
She
they
don't need
don't
to
give her.
eat. Yeah. Fuck
And I
you,
hope they don't give her
Ruby.
any food.
You're gonna pass on the sucker?
I had enough brownie for lunch.
Once you hit 99 pounds, you don't need any suckers anymore. You're too old. You're too big. Piece of bed maybe like once every 8 months. Like it's been a very long time since she went to bed. I was like, oh darn it, that's all right. Just go sleep on the floor in the bathroom. I've been a masterful.
Wait a minute. Well, hold on. What?
If you wet your bed, you need to sleep on the floor in the bathroom.
Is that what she said?
Unbelievable.
Hold on. Hold, please.
Any suckers anymore? You're too old. You're too big. Piece of bed maybe like once every 8 months. Like it's been a very long time since she went to bed. I was like, oh darn it, that's all right. Just go sleep on the floor in the bathroom. I've been a masterful.
What?
Yeah. She's a hot mess.
Oh
Crazy.
my gosh. Like, why have I not watched this? Okay. Wait, what? Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
Manipulator. I have manipulated using sex. I've manipulated using external rewards. I have wanted something, and I'm going to get it no matter.
Right? To tell you this, honey, but
Okay, hold on. Why does she remind me of Lori Vallow?
Yep.
Am I too far off with that? Like,
I wouldn't
I don't know.
say that. I
Kind of
mean,
reminds me of her.
yeah, when Lori Vallow took the lives of her children.
Unless you find a friend who's willing to share some of the food with you, I don't think you're going to be able to eat. But if you're not responsible for your lunch and your lunch money, that's the natural consequence.
Oh my
And I'm really
God.
sorry.
I can't, y'all. Like, I probably babied my children their whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
Susie can tell you that I still kind of do that.
Right.
You know, they're all adults, but I do what I can for them. However, I've made their lunches every day of their lives until they graduated from high school. Yes, I did.
And like for
Yes, I
myself,
did, ma'am.
when the kids were older, like high school or seventh or eighth grade, they were supposed to tell me when they ran out of lunch money because they would know every
Right,
day how much was
right.
in their lunch account. And at that point in middle school, they all had cell phones. Hey, mom, can you load up my lunch account? And to find out why their Caden would go through lunch money so quickly, he was feeding other kids with
Oh, I
his
love Caden.
money. He'd be like, my buddy wanted an extra sandwich. So I got him another sandwich. And I'm like,
Oh, I
you
love.
should. Yeah. And he would do super sweet things because I would say, where did all your money go? Well, mom, this buddy of mine, he needed a sandwich. He didn't have a lunch or any money. And I'm like, oh, okay. That
Yes,
was really
Susie.
sweet of you.
That's so
But
sweet. And that is just an indication that you raised a wonderful young man. Flash says, and still put a note. Yes. Yes. I would do that to
uh
this day. Like,
mm-hmm.
yeah. So, anyway, here we go.
You're learning this the hard way. I will have a wonderful, yummy snack. Just hang in there today and just make up your mind. You're going to be really careful and make sure you grab your stuff when you go to school next time. And maybe you have a good friend who will share some of
Okay.
their sandwich with you or
Okay,
something. Also, I'm really
Ruby.
sorry. He said,
Okay, Ruby.
like, he was going to cry.
A hot tub in my backyard, and because it's in my home and it's on my property and I pay for it, it's under my jurisdiction. I have stewardship over that hot tub, and so I get to decide the types of bathing suits people wear when they're in that hot tub. I don't get to go to the city pool and decide that. I don't get to walk around and say, that's not appropriate. I don't want that swimming suit. I don't get to do that because it's public property. It's a public pool. I do get to decide what comes in.
I mean, she does. She's right here. I'll agree with her right now. But I'm pretty sure it's going to get worse.
In my home. And I have decided there's no bikinis. And so if someone comes over with a bikini, they are invited to put on something else or to leave.
A year ago, my daughter was saying her prayers. Eve, she was 6 years old at the time. And she was saying her prayers. And she said the cutest thing. I thought it was so cute. And I started laughing. She said, "Dear Heavenly Father, please help me to survive." And I thought it was...
What?
Wow.
Wait, what?
That's
Did I hear her?
insane.
And she was saying her prayers. And she said the cutest thing. I thought it was so cute. And I started laughing. She said, "Dear Heavenly Father, please help me to survive." And I thought it...
Why was she laughing? I don't understand.
Wow.
That was a child.
Praying for survival. And kids should never
reaching
feel that way.
What?
It was so cute, and it took
It was
me off
cute?
guard, and I kind of giggled a little. That was an experience for her, and she melted. She melted. She was angry, and she started crying.
This bitch.
There's nothing more powerful.
Yeah, you're watching these clips and these moments that this mother thought abuse was okay. And when she wanted her children to talk on her video, and they were just being honest.
Right.
And she was so mad at them. And she thought it was okay that the little girl should starve. Well, it's her own fault.
Yeah.
And I bet that little girl came home and she wasn't allowed to eat dinner either. I bet. That's just my opinion.
The child looked like
Mhm.
she might have been in kindergarten, maybe. Like, why is she responsible? I'm not saying that a 5-year-old cannot make a lunch. They can, right? Hold on. Are you muted? I'm not saying that a 5-year-old can't make their own lunch. They absolutely can. However,
Mhm.
it is not the 5-year-old's fault that they accidentally, left their lunch at
Mhm.
home. And y'all, I did this with my kids, so please don't judge me. Because I do have 4 grandsons, and I promise you, if one of them called me and said, Gaga, I forgot my lunch, they about to get a 7-course meal at school. Right? Like, come on,
Exactly.
y'all, do better.
Right.
No, I don't think withholding food from children is proper punishment. I don't. So, fuck you, Ruby Frankie. That's how I feel.
And I agree with you because it's for them to sustain life. It's our responsibility as parents to feed our children or find a way to feed them if we can't afford food. And in reality, a school will not let a child go without a lunch. No matter what.
I
And
can't even wrap my head around I don't know how many of you all have felt true hunger pangs, but I have. And it's a terrible feeling.
mm-hmm.
So to even wrap my head around knowingly and willingly and forcibly making your child feel that way is
Right.
absolutely abuse.
Absolutely. For sure. It truly is. And
No
kids.
one should ever in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
feel hungry, and a child should definitely not feel that way, and your own child should never feel that way. Like, what the fuck, Ruby? Rotten hell, bitch.
I agree. And you, like if our kids were to come home, we would let them go shopping in our pantries. Sometimes when Caden comes home to go shopping in my pantry, it's like, Mom, you've got nothing in here. And it's nothing that he wants.
Right.
But even as adults, we're willing to give our children something,
or
no matter
everything.
what it is. Right. Whether they have a job or they don't have a job, we would give them anything. If they wanted a roof over their head, we would provide that,
Right.
no matter how old they are.
You
And it's
are
really
correct.
sad.
Listen, I've been live for what, an hour and a half, which is usually like that's way past what
It
I usually stay
is.
live. It is, but it's fine. Um,
Right. It's been a good conversation,
but
and
here's
it's
the thing.
sad.
Um, if you are, if you have been blessed
Mm-hmm.
to be a mother,
Yes.
because we've all seen it, there are people that have been blessed to be mothers only
Right.
to um, become a Ruby Frankie, right?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
then we have people who were born to be mothers that will never have a child.
Right. Because they're unable to have children.
Right. Um, hey, Tupac's wife. Hey, I'm about to end, but thank you for coming in and saying hello. Welcome. Um, I guess my point is, um, I have been very blessed to be the mother of 4 children, grown children now. They get mad when I call them children.
I
um,
understand that one. I'm not a kid
but
anymore, Mom.
yeah, but you're my babies. You'll always be my babies forever and ever. Amen. Anyway, I have been very blessed to, you know, birth these children, give them life, raise them, watch them grow through the good and the bad. And there has been bad. Trust me, it's not all, you know, rainbows and butterflies. It's not. But I can tell you
Absolutely.
this, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would take a bullet for any of them. I would never abuse them in any way. I would rock my orange jumpsuit if anybody came up against my children, and
Mm-hmm.
to see what this Ruby Frankie bitch turned out to be is very disheartening, to say the least.
Exactly. Without a doubt. It is extremely sad.
It's terrible.
Yep. And it can be in your neighborhood. It can happen with your friend, your children's friends.
Yeah, guys. So here, okay, I'm going to leave you all with this one statement, okay? Because I really probably need to get off here. It's a simple statement. Um, if you see something, say something.
Exactly.
Please.
Even if it comes up that nothing is a problem,
Yes. Yes.
and you pray to God that it's not a reality.
All right, let me type this. If you see something, well, I can't spell.
You need to report something.
If you see something, say something. Tupac's wife says there is something extra often cruel going on. Have you heard about Venice? I have not, Tupac's wife. But listen, y'all, if you see, hey, hot mama, I'm about to end, girlfriend. If you see something, say something, right? Like,
Exactly.
this Ruby Frankie, I'm probably never going to talk about this woman again because it just gets me, whatever, upset. But
Mm-hmm.
don't, okay, hot mama, thank you. Don't let our children down.
Right.
Not just children. Let's not let each other down. If you see something, say something. I don't care what it is. You never know.
Exactly.
You never know what difference you're gonna make in
Mm-hmm.
someone's life. If something feels strange or looks weird or out of the norm, speak up.
Yep.
Speak up.
Absolutely.
And best case scenario, you were wrong, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Like, let's pray that you misjudged whatever situation and you spoke up and you were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you spoke up and you were right? Think about that. Okay?
Absolutely.
It's better to speak up and be wrong than to not speak up and that person desperately needed your help. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
At the end of the day, if you speak up and you're wrong, who cares? I don't.
Mm-hmm. And you
What's
know, a
what
lot
what's
of
the, what's the
times,
worst? What's the worst that's gonna happen to you if you're wrong? You're wrong. Oh, wah. You know what I mean? But what
mm-hmm,
if you save a fucking life? What about that? Right?
exactly. Mm-hmm. For sure. And that's the best thing to, like you say, it's better to say something than say nothing. And like if you're right,
You could save
then
a
you
life.
can, Yeah, you can save a life.
But if you're wrong, so what?
Hmm.
My bad. You know what I mean? That's how
Exactly. And just like the supposed dad in this story, he never spoke up. And that's like giving a pass for
Yes.
him to say, it's okay. It's just their mom.
No,
It's
that's
not.
your kid.
He's
That's
just
your
as,
kid too.
yep.
Hmm.
And I feel he's just as guilty.
Hmm. I
He
agree.
may not been the one abusing his children, but he was also the one not protecting his children.
That's right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna get off here.
All
Again,
right.
those of y'all that sent me a cash app, thank you so much. I love you. I have lost monetization, and that sucks. But you'll never hear me grift. I'm not a grifter, but I will post my tip jar. So there you go. All right, I love y'all. Last but not least, say it, Susie.
Let's just keep it real.
Just keep it real. Love y'all.
Bye,
See y'all
guys.
hopefully on Flava. I hope Flava goes live. Whoop whoop.
All
Love y'all.
right. Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.